Welcome, friends. Thank you for joining me on this journey. My name is Trina, and let's talk. I muse about all sorts of things, and I'm here today to talk with you about your microbiome. Something you always wanted to know, right? What you feed your microbiome is important, so I have a series of talks, and this is the first series about things that are good for your gut, called It's Not Wine, But It's Good. It's a gut-friendly way to toast your health. When I first heard that you could use Saccharomyces boulardii, a probiotic yeast, to ferment sugar-free grape juice, I was intrigued. What was it good for anyway? So this is what I want to talk to you about today. I've always enjoyed experimenting in the kitchen, especially with recipes that blend wellness and curiosity. Yes, I guess I'm curious about a lot of things. If you are like me, keep listening. What emerged from that experiment surprised me. A ruddy red, gently fizzy drink that looked like wine, smelled like wine, and, well, went with the meal too. So what does it do for you? Why should we have it? Well, it restores the natural gut flora after antibiotic use. Isn't that amazing? It really would help because there are times when we have to have an antibiotic for something, and this will help, even drinking it before and after. So it supports the digestive balance and your immune function. Good stuff. It reduces occasional bloating and discomfort in the tummy area. Well, that's a good thing too. And it helps maintain the body's microbial harmony. Well, I think we should learn how to make it, don't you? Unlike most probiotics that are beneficial microbes, S.Boulardii is a friendly yeast. That means it's tough enough to survive stomach acid and deliver its benefits where they're needed most, in your intestines, or AKA your gut. Your body and microbiome will love this. I know it. I've tried it. Want to know how to make it? It's really easy. All you'll need is 1 quart of sugar-free grape juice or any other unsweetened pure juice. No fillers, no preservatives, nothing like that, and no sugar. So I particularly like to use the frozen grape juice, and half of a tin with water added will make about 1 quart, and it tastes delicious. So you pour that into a glass bottle and then save it in the freezer for the next time. So once you have the juice in the bottle and blended, you take 1 capsule of S.Boulardii and FOS probiotic for the 1 quart, and you empty the capsule in, and then you tighten the cap on the glass jar and you shake it up. And then you set it on your kitchen counter and you loosen the lid because it will fizz and it could overflow if it's closed. So, but when you shake it, remember to close the lid. Like I shook it once and whoo. Anyway, it has to ferment for about 48 hours, a couple of days, and then you taste it, and the sugar is pretty much all gone, and it fizzes, and then you cap the bottle and you keep it in the fridge and have at any time, like 1/4 cup servings, just whatever you like. It's a fizzy drink, and it will even satisfy the teetotaler in your life because it tastes a little like wine. In fact, it has maybe 1% alcohol generated through the time it ferments. So if you're a teetotaler or you have someone in your life who is, this could be really helpful. So let me tell you about my grandfather and how he taught his 6 daughters to drink wine in social circumstances. That's a good thing, right? Well, he was a teetotaler himself, but also worldly wise. And he knew his daughters would face occasions, dinners out, social events, that sort of thing, parties. They were young and being courted, I guess, and he wanted them to be prepared for being offered a glass of wine and what to do about it. And so this, as the story goes, this is how he taught them. So they had family dinners in those days, Sunday dinners that were special. And so all the family would gather around the table, and on some occasions they would serve wine to help teach this lesson. And Sunday dinners are great. My mother-in-law was great at that. She told me all about those times, and one of the fun thing was that with all of the children around the table, whoever got to go in the kitchen and have the leftovers, that's so whoever finished first, right? Anyway, occasionally my grandparents would serve a glass of wine at the Sunday dinner. Of course, it was only for instructional purposes, you understand. Now, girls, he would say, just lift your glass and touch it to your lips, but don't let any of the wine pass your tongue. Now, that could be a little difficult, but anyway, I'm sure there was a lot of wine left on the table. So that's the story, and I'm not sure, but I think all the girls survived a number of social occasions, and they all, as I understand it, became teetotalers themselves. The family stories are really important about how things were done in the olden days and the times gone by. Makes for good dinner conversations. So go ahead, girls, have some wine. And if he had had the S.Boulardii, I'm sure he would have been a little more in tune with that. But they didn't know about it back then. In fact, they didn't know how much the microbiome impacted our lives. So now I'm not against having a glass of wine at Thanksgiving or Christmas, or a tablespoon or two of spirits in baking, or whatever you like. But you might like to include some of the S.Boulardii in your diet occasionally, just for health benefits. But it's awfully, awfully good. So what is it? And where did this amazing probiotic come from? Well, Saccharomyces boulardii is a specific strain of the yeast species from the Saccharomyces cerevisiae. And I really hope I'm pronouncing these things properly. I'm not a scientist. I'm just good at researching things that are good to eat and helpful, and I like to share. So forgive me if I have mispronounced. Anyway, it was discovered totally by accident uh, as isolated from the peels of 2 tropical fruits, lychee and mangosteen. In the Western world, we often only regard lychee fruit as something found in Chinese restaurants, but it turns out it can provide numerous health benefits, including a high concentration of vitamin C, powerful antioxidants that support the immune system and protect cells from damage. Well, that should be good. Anyway, lychee also contains other vitamins and minerals like folate, potassium, copper, and B vitamins. Wow, that's good for healthy skin, strong bones, and proper metabolism. Mangosteen is a purple fruit with white inner flesh and is said to have anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, and antimicrobial properties. And it also supports your skin health, your blood sugar control, and weight management. Now that's handy. Mangosteen is particularly good for your gums also. This particular trait was motivated by a French biologist, Henri Boulard, who was traveling in Southeast Asia in 1923 with the discovery of S.Boulardii. He observed local inhabitants chewing on the skins of mangosteen and lychee fruits, or drinking tea made from them. This prompted Henri Boulard to look into this more deeply. Thank goodness he did, too. I'm always looking for foodie things that can be beneficial to our health. It is fun to experiment and try new things, and obviously he felt that way too. This is not wine, you could say, but it's good, and it can help you recover faster if you have had to take an antibiotic for any reason. Of course, these days, doctors now only prescribe antibiotics when absolutely necessary. And that's a good thing because antibiotics kill the good right along with the bad. But there are times we need an antibiotic. So let me toast you with a glass of S.Boulardii plus FOS. Here we go. See, looks just like wine, but it's not. Wow, tastes delicious. Yes, I think it does nourish your sense of taste and your sense of wonder. After all, curiosity, wonder, and health to enjoy it is awesome. So here's to your health and to the delicious experiments that make life just a little more fun. If you find my talks to your liking, be sure to subscribe and like this video. Did I tell you that I was going to put a more extensive blog article link on the bottom of this video just so that you could find out all of the details about how to make S.Boulardii? Anyway, you never know when you're listening to Talk with Trina what will resonate with you or some information about something you're curious about. And now let me say, if you feed your microbiome well, it will take care of you. May you be blessed, dear friends, and have a fun day.